Your baby is officially a fetus and they're about the size of an apricot. Welcome to week 10. Let's find out what is happening to your baby and to your body. Welcome, my name's Joanna. I am also pregnant, so if you're watching this, congratulations. Congratulations to me too. And I'm making these videos to track baby's development and my symptoms along the way. So if you want to come on the journey, please do hit subscribe. I'd love to have you. Welcome to week 10. This is quite a big week for baby. First of all, they're not an embryo anymore. They're officially a fetus, which is what your baby will be until they're born. They are looking like this. They are about 3 centimeters, and by the end of the week, they'll be about 4.1 centimeters. They're about the size of a small apricot or a prune, depends which fruit you're more familiar with. They're also about 4 grams, so they're so tiny and so light. However, they are now making loads of movements. So if you're going to get an ultrasound anytime soon, you're probably going to see them moving. However, you won't be feeling them yet because they're only 4 grams. They're just way too light to feel anything. So what's happening with baby? Their fingers and toes are formed and they're now starting to separate, so they're not little like paddles anymore. They're proper little hands. Their first few bones are also starting to form, so make sure that you're having all of your calcium, drink loads of milk, take loads of supplements, whatever you do, do it. Some of their organs are now starting to kick in and work a bit more, so their kidneys are now filtering out urine and they'll be starting to pee inside your amniotic fluid. However, luckily you've got a placenta which is now fully functioning, and that placenta will be filtering out any waste and anything that goes in or out of baby. And their stomach is also making digestive juices as well, so your baby is like a fully fledged mini human. Now that your baby can move, they can also move their little arms and their little legs at the joints, so they sort of can like flap their arms and stuff. Your baby's face is forming really well too. They still look a little bit alien-like. If you look at this picture here, their head is still quite bent over, however their neck is starting to lengthen, so around now they can start to nod and shake their head and do all sorts of cute head movements. Their ears are still forming, but their outer ear is pretty much fully formed and it's now around their final position, but the rest of their head and their face will be changing. Baby now has eyelids as well, which started growing last week, but they're going to remain closed until about 26 weeks pregnant. However, they can now react to light, so if you shine a light down in your uterus, they may be able to start to pick up those lights, and later on when baby's a bit bigger, when you start to be able to feel movements, baby will probably kick or punch your stomach in reaction. Your baby's going through a massive growth spurt. At the moment their head still isn't in proportion and they still look a little bit funky, and in about 2 weeks you'll be seeing your baby on the ultrasound for the first time and they will look quite baby-like. There's still a little bit of growing to do until then. Baby now has an upper lip and they've got 2 little nostrils. The jawbone is also starting to take shape and the jaw now contains baby's first little milk teeth. So last week they started to grow their milk buds and now they're growing into little teeth. So they are the teeth that will probably cause you a couple of sleepless nights once they get into baby/toddlerhood. Baby's heart is also beating really quickly right now. It's beating about 180 beats per minute, which is like 3 times the rate of your heartbeat. Now, let's talk about you, your body, and your symptoms. Around now, you'll probably have had or are going to have your booking in appointment very soon. Get that registered if you're going to be having midwife care. Your booking in appointment is basically to go through your health history, take some bloods, do a little physical on you, check your height, your weight, all that sort of good stuff. Your midwife will also ask you about your living situation, your partner, all those sorts of things. And once you've had that appointment, you'll be able to go to your ultrasound in about 2 weeks' time. Your uterus is the size of a large orange at this point and it's starting to swell, so you might be feeling like your jeans are getting a little bit tighter, but to be fair, you've probably been bloating. At least I was bloating quite a lot, so my jeans, they were tight by this point. So that's what's been going on with you. But what are the most common symptoms? Still kind of the first trimester symptoms. Tiredness and nausea are like the biggest ones. If it doesn't ease up by the end of week 10, around week 12 it should pretty much be going or on its way out, not quite as intense. If you're really struggling with like being sick a lot, go to your doctor or midwife. You might have something called HG. Other symptoms may have eased down too. You might be starting to get discharge and some hormonal acne, as basically your hormones are just like going haywire at this point. So those are the most common ones. Now I want to talk about my experience and my symptoms. Week 10, my nausea died down quite significantly. Literally at like week 9, day 6, I woke up and I just didn't feel horrendous. Like every day until then I just felt so sick, and all of a sudden it just wasn't as bad. I feel like the key is eating and snacking as much as you can. Don't eat too much, but just kind of eat all the time. You don't want any massive blood sugar ups and downs because blood sugar dips can often make you feel a lot worse. Week 10, bloating is bad. Around this time my jeans, they were not closing up anymore. Still constipated. Around this time progesterone is increasing and it slows down your digestive tract, which can lead to fun symptoms like heartburn, burping, farting, constipation, bloating. Great news. I had fatigue, I was just tired, it didn't really matter how much sleep I got, and this time my toddler decided not to sleep and I was just so tired. I'd have mood swings and I was just like, to be honest, just kind of struggling to cope. I also had some acne. It's really just like comes and goes, it's quite random for me so far during pregnancy, and I would still have cravings. But luckily the worst symptoms, like the really intense nausea, that had largely died down. So week 10 was a much better week. I do speak retrospectively because I had all of this filmed on my iMac over here, but she's since died. Luckily, I've kept all the notes, so this is still an accurate video. Please do let me know in the comments, how have you been finding this pregnancy journey? How has week 10 been for you? Please do follow along the journey by subscribing. I'd love to go along this journey with you. And I'll see you for week 11. Bye!